$4,000 in the second trimester, and $6,000 if she aborted in the last trimester. She's going to think twice about aborting babies. You know what I'm saying? If the father says, yeah, I need that compensation. You aborted my child in the last trimester. You owe me $6,000 according to the law. It's going to deter women from, doing those things without the man's consent. You understand? I think there should be some type of recompense if a man, if he pursues it. Okay. So that.
Can I respond? Sonetta?
Moses, go ahead, Moses.
Well, where this has become like
Judah came in after. Oh, peace to Tazariak. I didn't see him. Peace to California.
Shalom, sis. How you doing?
This becomes a political topic where people use rape, but I believe that a lot of women have been abusing the government for terminations, and a man does not have a say, regardless of what period. So me personally, I went through that and I had no say, but I had to deal with okay, well, whatever. I had to move on, but they use a rape and where a lot of women have been abusing the government paying for abortions. And then this is where it has not been being put out into the topic of discussion, where women feel that because of rape, they have the right, and then no man has, but then that concept, pushes that theory, but men don't have a say. So this is where I kind of like add on to that conversation where men do have a say, but yet they don't have a say because rape gives the woman the right to terminate, where at the same time it's not right for those who, because they just, women feel like they want to terminate for whatever reason.
Move on over to Judah. Judah, I'm going down the line. Judah, let's get it in. What did you say? Are you pro abortion or absolutely against it? Or give us the reason why you make that choice.
So I'm generally absolutely against it. Like, first off, right? But I am sympathetic to the woman's cause, even though I'm not a male feminist, which I'm seeing in the chat. A lot of male feminists in the chat. Shout out to y'all. It's weird. Anyway, so I do hear about people using the R word. I don't want to. Y'all know what I'm talking about. A woman getting violated, right, and against her will, and getting it terminated.
Yeah, let's use that word from now on. Violated. Yeah. Go ahead.
And even under that circumstance, this might seem insensitive, but even under that circumstance, the woman doesn't necessarily have to terminate.
Right.
But there is the option of adoption. As a person that grew up in the I'd rather listen. My mom could have terminated me early, but you know what I mean. But I was into foster homes and stuff, so I'd rather go through life and go through foster homes than not experience life. I'm trying to choose my words carefully. So, yeah, I'm absolutely against it, unless it is what you guys brought up before about when it's a health risk to the mother. If it's like a health risk to the mother, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, right. That's good on with it.
Okay, California Bear, let's go.
Hey, what's going on, panel? How everybody doing?
Good, brother.
Captain, I really been watching you for 8 years, so please forgive me if you disagree with what I'm about to say. On a religious base, no one should be even having an opinion on abortion because they believe that God gives and takes life. So if that woman make that decision, they should understand it's the higher power that gave her that decision to make. That's on the religious because they believe that God give and take life. So if that woman decide to do that, that's not her decision. That's the Most High giving it to her because the Most High give and take life. Now, let's get strictly down to the point of the matter that if, again, like I said the last time, if the baby does not have a heartbeat, if the whatever's growing at that time doesn't have a heartbeat and the decision that was made, I believe is I ain't gonna say believe, I have understanding to know that there's factual situations that mentally they might not be able to handle that baby. I'm a Mason, and my grandmaster was a social worker that they took the child from the woman and then ended up giving it back, and she killed the baby because she wasn't mentally stable to even raise a child. So I believe, like Sister Paul said, that it all depends on the situation and the circumstances. That if you cannot raise this baby, don't take it through those changes. And I yield the floor.
All right, Captain Cesario, you got the mic, brother.
I appreciate it. First thing I want to say, the Lord said, "Thou shalt not kill." So I don't know what the hell the previous person was talking about when he talked about God. That that didn't make no sense whatsoever. And I only highlighted him because he directly addressed me. Abortion, my position on abortion from the gate is that I'm against abortion, barring health issues. Like there's been incidences like when I know a sister that when she got pregnant, the fetus was producing outside. I might be saying the medical term wrong, so please forgive me, but the fetus was
In the
growing
tubes, in the
out.
tubes,
Yeah,
in the tubes.
right, in the tube. So
Right.
it was an extreme risk of danger to her. So in situations like that, I think abortion should be allowed because, of course, this puts her clearly at risk. Puts so in those instances. But I do not believe in abortion outside of that. When it comes to the violation of women, if anybody look up the percentages, 2.4% of women that are done that way actually get pregnant. So I don't think that that's a strong enough argument when it comes to abortion. Usually people use, like what the brother before me said, like if the woman is not mentally prepared, which goes to another option. I also saw somebody put an excellent point in the chat, like women can abort the baby without even telling the man. This is almost a decision that a man can't even. Here's the ill part, and it's funny that a comedian said that, but it's a true statement. Like when it comes to abortion, if a man wants to keep the child, he doesn't even have any say so in it. So if the woman says, "Well, I don't want," if the woman says, "I want to keep it," and the man don't want it, he ain't got no say so. But if the man says, "I want to keep it," and the woman says, "I don't want to keep it," he still don't have no say so. And I remember Dave Chappelle said, "Well, if you have the right to, if the man doesn't want to keep it and you want to, shouldn't he have the right to not take care of that child too?" Which is a
Mm.
whole nother conversation because you
Yeah.
taking all this authority from the man, but then you want him to have the authority of raising the kid. So when we get down to abortion, it's really only been bogged down to a woman's right. And more important than abortion, which I'm against, is if women want to have that right, then they should also have the responsibility of taking care of their bodies. A woman can only get pregnant once a month when she's ovulating. When that egg drops, so after your period or after a woman's cycle, between 12 to 14 days, that egg drops. So a woman has a natural birth control if she just took care of her body. If a woman takes care of her, and I found this out when me and my wife was trying to have a baby, and we just thinking that we just gonna have sex. I'm gonna shoot up the club, boom, she gonna get pregnant, and then we go to the doctor, and we find out from the doctor there's an ovulation period. So when that egg drops, you either have to have sex with that woman and um ejaculate inside of her a day before the egg drops, at the most two, or a day after the egg drops, or the day the egg drops, and then she gets pregnant. But if there's no egg that drop, there's not a point where the woman can get pregnant.
Now,
So
one more thing, Captain. How do you know when the egg drop? Do you
you
know or
now
do she know? Is she the one that tell you?
she Well, I think both can know because, and when I did it with my wife, we both was knowing. There's even like there's so with technology, you can get an app. Like women can get apps for their cycles. Women may do this already. So some women may have an app so that they can monitor when they're gonna get their cycles. So they know if I got my cycle, if today is the 17th and they got their cycle today, they'll have an app where they already knew that they had the cycle and they'll know when their cycle is coming on the month of August, and they can do the same thing for an ovulation. They can get an app for it, and you can take a test. You can the same way you take a test for a pregnancy is the same way you can take a test
Blessing your hair
for
sound.
your
That's what's
ovulation
up.
as well. Hey brother, you
Lucky
got
you
to
got
mute
a
your
mom
mic,
that know how
brother.
to braid.
Hey, that brother got to mute his mic. Talk about braid. Um, so there's things that you can do to actually monitor, and I think if we're gonna deal with abortion, you can actually avoid abortion totally But like women don't need birth control because we know birth control modifies their hormones. It makes, it can modify their bodies. You're putting something inside of you that's going to destroy you when God gave your body a natural cycle to get pregnant or to not get pregnant. And I
Now, one
think
more
that's
thing.
uh
What if the woman is violated? Do you support her getting abortion then? If she's violated, and she have to look at that baby every day to remind her of her pain every
okay,
day.
so
Do you support the abortion then?
okay, so I'm gonna talk about that after I finish this part.
Yeah.
I'll touch. I appreciate it, sir. And so, if we're talking about abortion, and if it's fully a woman's right, because we know they have taken that power from the man, unfortunately, even though he should have that power, he should the same power that a woman has is the same power that a man should have, especially if a man has to take care of that child if she decides to keep it. If it takes two to make it, it should take two to keep it. If you're gonna do that, you can't say
That,
it's two of us and then you're eliminated
yeah.
because think about this. And then the argument about it not being alive until it's born. If a woman deletes that baby, they don't consider that deletion. But if a man deletes a woman that's pregnant, they call it double deletion. They call it double deletion because you unalive that woman and you unalive that baby in the womb. So we have to be extremely responsible. Now, in the case of a woman being violated, I would say whoever said you can give the baby up for adoption, I would agree with that. But then also, depending on how they were violated and how it was done, I would do a case by case basis on that. Because let's say if it was an uncle or a relative or something like that, because a woman carrying, remember when a woman, like in the Bible, when in the New Testament, when the angel told Mary the Holy Spirit shall overshadow her, what that overshadowing was representing is what every woman wants during pregnancy. They want a safe pregnancy, they want a stress-free pregnancy, they don't want to be bothered because whatever affects the woman while she's pregnant affects the child. So if that woman is going through trauma, the baby is going to go through, just like whatever the woman eats during pregnancy, the baby is going to get all of those nutrients. And also if a woman is getting high, I'm just using extremes so we can understand. If a woman is using drugs during pregnancy, that baby's going to be born addicted to drugs. If
Okay.
that woman is healthy during pregnancy, that baby is going to be born healthy. Well, it also works with stress. If a woman is stressed during pregnancy, that baby is going to come out. We talk about them ADHD type of kids or trauma type of children. If you go into how that child, how that woman was treated during pregnancy, that's going to affect them. So, from a violation of a woman, a case by case basis would be the more sensible approach to that. So I'll yield with that.
So you
All
don't
right.
think?
Hey, son, I'm
No,
sorry. Can I add on?
no.
Because
Hold on. Let me get Hood Haitian in here first. Everybody then spoke, and then we can see what we got. Go ahead, Hood. What you got for that, man? What you think? What is your take on that?
Hey, what's going on, Sonnet? I've been a long time observer ever
Hey,
since. Wow, it's bro. I've been watching you guys from afar for a long time. Definitely, pro life. Obviously, being down here in Florida, the Republican state of Florida. Yeah, definitely pro life. Um, that abortion issue has been abused by women. Black population in the United States has been at what 12, 13% for decades. All right, so that's another issue. And then it's on the men to align, with the women that align with their values. If you deal with women that believes in abortion, hey, there's a high percentage that your child is going to get aborted. I mean, it is what it is. There's plenty of traditional women out here, but for some reason, hey, we choose the the black feminist variety the majority of the time. So you're gonna definitely get those results. So it is what it is. But yeah, definitely pro-choice. Not definitely against pro-choice stuff.
right.
Yeah, the women definitely use that as another form of birth control. They always use the extremes. The previous brother said, they'll use the extremes of, incest, rape, that the percentages are so low, but they'll use the extremes as their arguments.
All right. All right.
Yeah, so it is what it is.
I need somebody in the chat to look up the who abhorred children more, African American women, European women, Spanish women. Let's see who is the highest abortion women on the planet. That's deep.
So what I have, so it says who had. I got it. It says who has abortions. Most abortions in the United States are obtained by minority women. It says proportions of abortions. It has blacks are 37%, whites are 22%, Hispanics are 34%, and other is 8%.
Wow.
Blacks and Hispanics are the most.
Damn.
Which is amazing. Which is amazing when you think about it, because our percentage in America is low. Like we're only like 10 to 12%. Actually, it says as of 2002, 15% of black women at risk of unintended pregnancy. So like the numbers, our percentage of being in America is what makes this high. Now, in fairness though to black women, that 22% of white women is probably more than the actual number. Like the 22% of white women could be, let's say if it's 10,000, and then the 37% of black women could be 8,000. So it could be more white women total,
Right.
but
Right.
what is basing the numbers off of is per capita. So that's where it looks bad for us because of our percentage. But yeah.
Let me tell you what I thought before you came on. I said this. I said that it should be a law against a woman just giving her an abortion, because number one, if you're grown, you mature, you got to be responsible. If a man and a woman lay down and they grown enough to know, you can't now say, "Oh, I want to get an abortion," because you got to be responsible. Now, I can understand if you're going through certain things in your life, like if I had this baby, something could happen with my life. I understand that. But if you having a child and you laying down with a man, you know it can come out of that. So you know it got to be a law against you just killing that baby.
But it still should go up under the circumstances, though, son.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, and Captain disappointed me. He know good and well he believed that God give and take life. So that was a bad response. But the woman should always have the final say so, because she's the life giver.
Come on, brother. You crazy
She's
on that one. I disagree with you hard on that.
But she should already know that if she
what you just did was gave up all your rights to this woman. You gave up everything to her.
I have been there before.
Hold on, let's say you want that baby, but she's saying, no, I'm going to abort it. No matter what you go through, you already saying, yo, she can go ahead and kill it. You gave her all the rights, brother. Just
my
now.
mama that I got tattooed on my neck did that to me. I didn't want her to have an abortion. You know what I'm saying?
What did you say about tattoo on your neck? What did you say?
That's my baby mama name. My baby mother name.
Why'd you get that name tattooed on your neck?
Hold on, wait a minute, stop, mister. I thought you were more educated than that.
I was just trying to follow what you said.
Now, I didn't want this abortion. I didn't want it at all, but she was dictating on how she wanted 2 establishments of income. She wasn't working at that time. So I ended up driving her to that. I didn't want it, but after that day, I started thinking about this. If this baby do not have a heartbeat and the situation will come to a point, there's a part that we might separate. I don't think you should bring a child in the world in a messed up situation, dealing with the situations that we are already dealing with around. What's going on?
Hey, can I respond to that? I think that the reason why I was asking you those questions is because
hold on, Cap. Yeah, you can respond to it real quick. So you saying the woman should give up all her rights? No, what I'm saying is we should have rights just like the woman. That's what I'm saying, bro. If you see, for the woman to give up all her rights, That's like saying we don't have no rights. If she gets all the rights, then the man don't have a say so, even though that's his seed. That's
But
what I'm
that's her body.
Yeah, but you already knew what you were getting into, though. That's what I'm saying.
So you can't force a person to have a baby. That's why it's better to what I see.
And they want to just kill the baby. Because
anyway, I think there's already going to say something, then I can.
No, what I was going to say, I want to use what the brother said. The brother said, because he didn't want to bring the baby into a messed up situation. This is why it goes back to responsibility. Adults don't want to be responsible.
Go ahead.
Adults just want to have sex without responsibility, and that's what America did. When America legalized abortion, they taught women that you don't have to be responsible for your bodies as well as men. And so now you be in these trauma bonding relationships, and now when you get pregnant, the woman says, I don't want to have this baby, because they know the cat that they dealing with is going to be a horrible daddy. But you knew he was a horrible man when you was having sex with him. You knew she was a horrible woman when you was having sex with her. But nobody takes that into consideration. And then you take this child that is alive. If sperm can travel and crack an egg, that's life. You can't say that it's dead, because if it was dead, then it wouldn't have penetrated that egg. So if you think the relationship is too horrible to have a kid, then you should strap up. You should be responsible. You should take that ovulation test. Make sure that you're not capable to have a baby. As smart as women think they are, none of them know about their bodies. I guarantee you, if I start asking them, when are you ovulating, when is your cycle coming, they're gonna say, I don't know. It just come. I feel it. None of them know their bodies. If you ask men if they care about women, if you cared about a woman, I know about every woman I'm with, their cycle and ovulation cycle. I'm at an age where I don't really want kids like that, unless, one of my wives decide they want a child. So we know what I do. I make sure I monitor their period. I make sure I monitor their ovulation, even if they don't want to. That's the responsibility. That's how responsible sex is to me. But sexual education is not really taught to women or men. And so if you feel like this person is not right for you, why would you even have unprotected sex with that woman? Because America provided an out. And the out that America provided was that you can unalive your child. So now I ain't got to worry if she get pregnant. What that girl, y'all ever see that interview Shannon Sharp had with Glorilla? Shannon Sharp had an interview with Glorilla, and in that interview, Glorilla said, I have a membership there. And she was talking about Planned Parenthood. And so you know what she's saying? I don't have to worry about my body, because if I got pregnant, I got a membership at the clinic, and I can just go to the clinic and unalive that baby. And that's the psychology that men and women have. And that's what makes it unfortunate. So when the brother that just told it, he kind of said exactly a real life scenario of why we abort babies. We abort babies because America gave us the right. Before 1973, you just go look at the stats. Not only was not black women aborting their babies the way that they was also more responsible sexually. We became irresponsible as a people once they legalized abortion. If they did not legalize it, we would think about who we're having sex with.
But Captain, how can you blame
who are you speaking about when you say they legalize it?
America.
The government, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just want to make sure Sonetta was hearing that.
Captain, how can you blame them? And you just said they're not educated. How can you blame for somebody to do something that they don't know how to do?
Good question. The reason why I say that is because we pretend that we are, especially our women. Our women claim to be the most educated. They taken over the world. They're more smarter than men, but they're so smart economically. They're not smart physically. They're not smart with their biology. They don't know their own bodies. So if I think that, I hope that the people that are listening, especially women, and I'm saying women first because it's your body that's getting penetrated, men second, but men should take the lead. You should take the lead at understanding your body. If you're against abortion, you should know your body, and you never have to get pregnant again. A woman will only get pregnant if she wants to, if she just learns her body. When me and my wife wanted to have that baby, we couldn't get, we was trying for maybe 7 months. We could not do it. We went to the doctor. So we ended up going to the doctor. When the doctor taught us that ovulation, she was pregnant the next month because we followed the protocol. And then I learned about it, and that taught me a lesson. So I knew how to get another woman pregnant if I wanted to, and just learn the body. Like, we have to re-educate ourselves about our bodies if we're going to say we're for or against abortion.
But we're living in a time right now that your voice will be heard, but it's going to be turned to deaf ear. You know what I'm saying? You what you're saying is lovely, but when you go outside, these people is not educated, so you have to revamp your judgment on this.
I'm not judging anybody.
Because listen, you just said that in your, I guess you made a remark that you don't believe that God give and take life. So anything that you have to say upon this is your judgment.
No, that's not a judgment as far as condemnation. It's a judgment as far as education. So the reason why I say, like, when you're referencing about the Most High, you're talking about Deuteronomy 32 and 39 when he says, "I kill, I make alive, I wound, I heal." That's something that he does. But when you say that, the danger in saying that is you're taking the responsibility away from a woman, and that's where we need to bring it back to. With abortion being legal, the woman does not have a real sense of responsibility instilled in her brain. The only way she can have responsibility. I'm sorry, you was gonna say something, brother?
No, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, but as far as that little comment right there that you're saying, as far as your understanding that the woman is up under you, so in reality, her judgment should be a part of your judgment because you're the one supposed to be teaching her, right?
Right. That's why I said women should know about it, and you just heard me say men should take the lead. So I'm agreeing with you.
Yes, sir.
I'm not saying that men shouldn't have no role. If you have a relationship, fail or success, it's going to always fall on the men's shoulders first. Even if the woman is the reason for it, it's going to fall on the man's shoulders first because inherently men are supposed to be in charge. So if men are supposed to be in charge and you know that your woman doesn't have this education, you should educate yourself and then educate her if she's not educated.
Let me say this, Captain. I think I gotta agree with this comment right here. I don't think we as men know a woman's body more than a woman, brother. I have to agree with this sister right here on this. What do you say to this comment, brother?
Okay, I wouldn't say that she's wrong or right. I just can't give that 100%. So if she want to say 60-40 women know more, I'm fine with that. That's fine. But in my experience, if we was to take a poll, if you was to go into a room full of women and take a poll and ask them about their ovulation cycle and their menstrual cycle, does she believe that 100% of those women would know? I don't believe every woman would know. I know that just by women that I've counseled, and I say, well, you don't know your ovulation cycle? No, I didn't know. Women will say, I didn't even know I was pregnant. Women don't know they're pregnant until they to the next month, 2 months when they miss their cycle.
That's true. I met some women
that saying? So
they didn't know they was pregnant.
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say Miss Graham, and shout out to the sister. I like Miss Graham. So I'm not gonna say Miss Graham is wrong, but I can't give her 100% correct. If she want to take 60-40, I'm fine with that.
But
okay. All right, hold on. Judah, you want to get in on this?
Hey, you see King Elements comment? Can you put his comment on the board, Sonnet, if you don't mind?
Okay.
So I want to answer that. No, not the one that so that gives a man to dictate a woman's body. I don't know. I don't think that give a man a right to dictate knowing a woman's body is not you dictating her body. But if we're gonna be responsible adults and you know this woman's cycle, you know that she's ovulating. If you're not ready to have a kid, you just don't have to have sex for those 3 days. You talk about not having sex for 3 days. And when that egg drops, you're just not going to touch her. Or if you have sex with her, you'll either pull out or you wear a condom. You don't need to get birth control or the day after, because for those 3 days that her egg is dropping and she can take an ovulation test, you can say, nah, we're going to be off limits, baby. Have oral sex. You ain't even got to have sex. Just have oral sex for them 3 days if you need to have some type of intimacy or use a condom. That I'm not talking about dictating a woman's body. I'm talking about being responsible with what you do with your body. It takes two to have the child. It don't take one to have the child. So if a man knows that this woman is ovulating, and he don't want to have kids, have some dick discipline, have some vagina discipline. If you don't want to have a child, now if it doesn't matter if you have a child or not, then have the sex. But if you having sex, a baby comes with having sex. That's just common sense. And if you're not ready to have a baby, take responsibility to avoid having the baby. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Judah, you there?
Shout out to Miss Graham again. That's a good comment as well.
Shout out to brother Akim, Treasure of the Torah. Thank you for the book, brother.
Why is he flipping the screen off?
Yeah, why is he giving the finger?
Why is he Moses? Why is he flipping the screen off?
Hey man,
man,
what's wrong with him?
Moses got to get kicked out.
This is a sensitive topic for him, where he's not capable of. I don't know.
Got to get out of here.
Sorry about that, bro, but no.
Anna, when he do that,
I don't know if he was flipping you off because you didn't let him talk or what.
Yeah, but so what? Even if we didn't, he got to be. He got to be. What they say, patient.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna come to you, but Judah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, thanks again to Brother Akim for the book. He sent me a book. It's really, really, really good. I want to say, the women are they're probably gonna set Cap on fire, man. My wife over here going crazy, like he doesn't know a woman's body. Y'all don't know a woman's body because they're talking about like sometimes the cycle might change up. It's not necessarily regular all the time. So she brought that. I'm a father of 4 kids, so she's bringing that to account. Like, and this is in a chat about to chase Cap to his car. But she's giving you a special finger, Cesario. But
maybe Moises was flipping off.
Who's giving me the special finger? Who's?
Oh, my wife is giving you a special finger. She's like, you don't know women's bodies like you think you do.
I didn't say I was an expert, man. But she's right that the cycle can change. But that's where the responsibility comes in, where you can take tests. You have apps. There's so many things in place for us to be responsible, which is my ultimate point. That's all I'm saying. And we as responsible adults, I may not know every woman, but I do know my women. I know my women's cycle. I know their ovulation. And if they don't want to get pregnant, I know when to not have sex with them. If they want to get pregnant, I know when to have sex. Excuse me. If they want to get pregnant, I know when to. So I'm not saying I know every single woman, but I did take the time to learn my women's bodies. And they did too.
All right, real quick. Hey, Moses, don't get yourself blocked, man. You've been coming on here for a while. Just because you disagree, have a little patience, man. Be responsible like you're saying right now that the woman should be. So come on, brother, be responsible. You're not a little boy. You're not a little kid. You are a grown man. Have some discipline, brother. I would come to you. Don't be disrespectful to the panel. Okay, you done, Judah? Nepal.
Yeah, thank you, Senator. I just want to, from what I'm hearing, I get how I was feeling like, getting a little heated because there was a part where I was like, excuse me? Men don't know, but I get what Captain's saying. Really, I would say he's addressing men more, saying we need to take responsibility and know women's bodies. And excuse me if I don't want to speak for you, but I'm telling you what I hear from him. I think that's a great idea. Men should know women's bodies. Captain obviously has done a lot of homework, a lot of experience. So if you're in a situation like Moises and other brothers, you don't want to get in that situation. Yes, know the woman you're with. Now, I do want to throw this out there and hear from the brothers. If Captain wants to start the ball rolling, what about these women and these men out there just, not knowing each other? You know what I'm saying? Just hooking up right away. What do you say to the men about that?
Yeah, here's what I say to the men. Like, I always make the statement that our women will stop being whores when we stop treating them like whores. So I'll start there. So like we convince women, like women don't walk women, men, y'all gotta walk with me on this one because it's gonna hurt men's feelings. And this is what I mean. Like we have to take charge. Only way our women can fix themselves is if we fix ourselves on this particular subject. Everything about a man and a woman having sex starts with the man primarily. Now, I'm not talking if y'all want to say, well, the anomalies is when the women do it themselves. That does occur, but primarily this is a man leading the charge. If you think about our music, there's a famous song called Reasons by Earth, Wind, and Fire. And if you actually listen to that song, the reasons before they have sex is to have sex. And then after the love game has been played and all the reasons with just a charade and all the reasons start to fade. You know what the reason starts to fade? Because they done both climaxed. So because they done both climaxed, now it's like, I really don't have this feeling for her.
Now hold on, are you saying that's what the song is about? The reasons?
That's exactly the reasons. The reasons that we hear.
I never thought about that.
Yeah. The reasons that our feelings won't. Yeah. Because he say now that the love game has been played, all of the illusions was just a charade. He telling you the illusions was just a charade. So, but now here's the flip side. We get mad at women for sleeping with us on the first date when the woman is believing our lie. The woman is believing we want to be with them. The woman is believing we're going to love them. The woman is believing all of the game that you put on her. And really, you hating yourself. Really, a man is hating themselves that this woman believed them. They getting mad at the woman like, how could you believe me knowing that I'm lying? Now, they may not say this outside, but that's why they hate the woman. Because the woman slept. You know what man the woman respects? Is the woman that they spit all they game to, but she don't sleep with him right away. That's the woman that they chase.
That's right.
Because that woman is not believing their lie. And it's like, damn, this is the one right here. She ain't believe this game I just spit on her. She ain't believe that I want to be with her. Now, you know what happens after that? Now you start buying some flowers. You're going to buy a gift. Now you courting the woman. Now you're doing all the things to actually gain this woman because you have to be honest with her. Black women, the greatest thing I can tell you is to stop believing the lies of men. Make a man court you. Now, but this requires you to close your legs also. Preach. That's why I said it's the man's responsibility first, but the woman has to hold. A man is naturally going to be attracted to a woman. It's natural. A woman Captain. Is going to, yeah.
What are you talking about, Captain?
No, he's telling the truth. Captain, real quick, I just want to say.
You don't get it. Y'all don't get it. I'm like, what are you talking about, Captain?
But you know what?
Yeah, that's from the different strokes. I know.
Oh, what you talking about, Willis? But you know what? Talking as a woman, I have told women
close them legs. I'm like, hold up, Captain. What are you talking about, Captain?
No, but really, to be serious though, I tell women if you want them, they think I'm going to give him the sex, and for some stupid reason, they think that they have the golden, private part that no man can ever leave. But what happens is when you give it, that's when he doesn't want you anymore. If you don't do it in the right way, if you give it. It's when you don't give it right away, like Captain said, he's like, oh, okay, she's done some substance. So I 100% as a woman, and there's women out there that know this too.
Yeah, and I want to add one more angle, because a lot of women, like when I mentioned the Glorilla earlier, when you listen to our women's music, they talk about how I took that nigga down before. That's one of the lines that she say. Because I like Glorilla a little bit. I ain't gonna front, but she raps real manly. And we taught them that too. So now women taking niggas down like we take them down. That's the way that they combat us. So they think that they being put on game because they could take a nigga down because we taught them that psychology. That's why I told them, if we're going to stop the whoredom amongst our people, we have to stop loving whores. If a woman gyrates in front of us, or if a woman is provocative in front of us and we reject her, she'll stop that too. The same way if a man tries to hustle a woman out of her drawers and she rejects him, it makes the man be more honest with her. Is the same way if respectful to her. Right, be respectful to her. Is the same way if a woman comes very promiscuous to us and we reject them, it'll make them be that way. But everything starts with us. The man has to change in order for our women to change.
Hold on,
right, Judah, and then I want to bring on Elder Yara, who just joined the panel. Go ahead, Judah.
So I got about maybe 10 more minutes, if that's cool.
Yes. Okay, right. Good, Cap.
there is a such thing called such thing as hookup culture, and I wanted to bring that up because that's what we are in. Not saying we are, participating in that lifestyle, but there are lots of young people who are. I remember a time where, like, listen, people were always involved in relations, adult relations, right? But I'm saying there used to be a point in time where, like, the girl that was more chaste or wasn't really out there all like that, she wasn't quote unquote fast, as our mothers and grandmothers are called girls. She fast, but the girl that wasn't fast, that was like, what I'm saying, that's who all of us young kids, young brothers, we all like the girl that was quote unquote prude. Right now, I guess being prude is bad. Like, these women out here, like, and I'm not even like dogging out the women, because we got the young men out here doing any old kind of thing too as well. So we're, it's not even just so-called blacks. You get Latinos doing the same thing, of course, whites. There's other. It's been effect. People are doing ratchet stuff all over TikTok, Chinese, Jap, whatever. Everyone's doing ratchetness, whatever. But yeah, I just want to say, just in closing, there was a point in time where women were, we were girls or boys back then. There's a point in time where women would give men the chase. And as brothers had told you guys before, that like men like the chase, you know what I'm saying? We're like, if you look in the wild, look at
like
animals.
Good game. Yeah, we like good game.
We gotta, don't run too fast, but we'll chase you. You know what I'm saying? But don't break out into a full out sprint. Like, we ain't doing all that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, make us chase. We'll play along. You know what I'm saying? Especially for me, I got like 2 daughters, right? So I always think about, like, I know how I was when I was younger. And, I got to be a responsible father and teach my girls that, hey, man, this is one of the most important parts of your body. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you have to know what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be out there just giving it away and breaking your father's heart and making me ashamed of you. It's all pretty much, But yeah, go ahead, Joe.
That's right. You're muted, son, Elder Yara.
Yeah, that was for Elder Yara. Yeah, I thought it was for the other brother, but
Elder Yara, let's go.
Yeah, no doubt. Peace and blessings to the panel. Peace and blessings to you, Senator, Sister Nepal, Captain Tazariak. Is always a pleasure and honor being on a panel with you. Same brother. As Israel Doctrine. Is that Israel Doctrine?
That's California Bear.
Please don't do that. Please.
You about to make him mad. You're going to make him mad.
A little blurry right there. I can't really see him. But shout out California Bear. I can't see them names right there. But peace and blessings. Davion on the panel. Peace and blessings to y'all, fam. But yeah, I agree, with what I've been hearing so far, man. I appreciate Sai for bringing out these topics. Kind of refreshing to have these types of conversations on these channels, man. I agree with everything I heard Captain Tazariak really say, like in the last few minutes that I just come on. Like, I always tell people, especially when they're dealing with our women and young girls today, I raised 4 daughters alone until I remarried my wife. My first wife passed away. So I was raising 4 daughters on my own. And none of my daughters were teen mothers. None of them. Not even an abortion or whiff of it. That's because I was prominent in their life. You see? Like, yeah, you couldn't go to certain places. I wouldn't even when I was raising them as children, and their mother, when she was living, she would like to buy them little clothes that had like love on the behind. She would like to try to buy that. I wouldn't let her buy that for my girls. Why would you buy your kids some clothes that got, look at, like love and sassy all on the behind parts of the little kids, and they was actually selling them types of clothes. And I'm like, no, they can't wear that. I said because that draws attention sexually. You don't know that that's what they doing when they market you these types of clothes and different things like that. You're sexualizing your children. You're teaching them how to be subjugated to men in a way that's not godly. You see what I'm saying? You objectify them in the way. So I wouldn't allow that. You see what I'm saying? And so, and I always tell people as well on this note, when we talk about women, like even when we see today, in the rap culture, Sexy Red and Glorilla and Meg Thee Stallion and all of these types of things, people, and Scarlett and all this, like people talk about, man, this music is crazy, but, and different things like that. But I always say, you don't you don't really have, you cannot have a Jezebel unless you first have a Ahab. You see? And if you have an Ahab, if you're an Ahab in your house where you don't take authority and take a stance, if you whining and crying and your woman got to always wipe your tears because you crying over something you can't have, which is if you read the story in Kings, what Ahab was doing, he was throwing a fit because he couldn't have something another man had. So his wife had to come say, hey, look, like you the king. She has to remind him of who he is, right? But at the end of the day, like, if you don't know that for yourself as a man, then it's easily to be seduced, or it's easily to be subdued and led astray in a way where you don't realize you're no longer the king. You've given your manhood over, right? And I tell brothers, it doesn't really matter what the women are doing out here. Like Captain said, you have to stand on what you know it is to be a man. But it's difficult when you don't have men teaching men anymore. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I tell women, even if you find yourself in a position where you're a single mother, find you a real man of God specifically. But if not, you need to get your child, your daughters, and your man, get them under the influence of a real man. You see what I'm saying? I'm not just talking about a man because, he got male parts, but I'm talking about one that you can show that he take care of his family, he take care of his responsibility. He's not living in the home with his mother, if there's not a situation that requires that, right? I know a brother live at home with his mother because he takes care of his mother. She's elderly, right? So I'm just saying, like, we have to look at certain things and certain understandings when it comes to even our young people of today. But one thing I found is distressing, and I'll park my car on this. One thing I found distressing is that you see a lot of people now that are so willing to throw our young people away simply because we don't like the music that they sing or the clothes that they wear. We like, oh, forget them. Like they gonna die anyway, right? Like they no good. I've heard people say who claim to be Christians. I heard people say who claim this generation gonna die. This generation is going to hell anyway. You see what I'm saying? And then so they feel like they're not obligated to reach out to these young people. You see what I'm saying? But to me, in itself, that's an evil. You see what I'm saying? Because all most of these children need is looking for is first of all, they need spiritual guidance in the right way, right? Based on the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, you could raise any solid family, and lead them in the right direction. And so that's what we first have to get the men back to as the position in the priest in their household. You know what I'm saying? And then allowing that woman to run that household. See, this is what Proverbs 31 teaches us about a virtuous woman. She considered the field and went to buy the field, but she also took care of the home while that man was doing what? In the city gates, talking to other men, dealing with other men about how to protect that family, how to protect that land, right? Creating laws and enforcing the laws, statutes, and commandments that the whole family can be governed by. You see what I'm saying? And so these are the things we have to realize, like, is the world today, the secular world today, wants to turn that upside down. You see? If I don't teach anything else, if I don't teach anything else, whether or not we can argue and debate over this topic and that topic, ultimately, we should all be teaching somewhere, somebody about how your family has to be lined up with the word of the Most High, because that's the only way a family has ever survived in strength. You see? And so, man, like I said, I enjoyed this conversation, from what I was listening in on, and the information y'all brought out. So this is a great topic, man. So, man,
I'm gonna say something right off. It's okay.
No doubt.
All right, hold on, Captain. You good? Or you out?
Yeah, I'm a roll, but I definitely appreciate it, side. I wanted to come in like this because I thought this was a good subject to have. If you ever have a part two, just let me know. But I definitely appreciate the panel. So shout out to Nepal, Judah, all the brothers on the panel. I look forward to having a dialogue with y'all again. Shalom. And we got something coming. Just stay tuned. Me and Sinetta are working on something behind the scenes. So just stay tuned. You said, why you say don't leave, brother?
Just 1 second.
Don't leave.
All right,
But one,
Shalom. Thank you
Let
for
me talk.
but before you go, I just want to say to Captain Tazariak,
Mhm.
that was great. I want you to just recap about telling brothers to know more about the women's bodies, because that was a great point, because men will be more empowered and get more power over their bodies, right? If they know
yeah,
what.
definitely.
Thank you for adding
I
them.
think, oh, no problem. And you'll also see, like, when you could talk to a woman about her body and how you care about her body, it'll also help you gain a better trust in the relationship, because she'll know that you're not trying to take advantage of her. So what Nepal was talking about was, I said earlier, it's important for men to know their women's bodies too, because that's a part of it. Like, you want to know their body physically, like how you want to dominate them in the bed, but you got to also know the anatomy of their body. So you'll know when they're going to get pregnant, when they're not going to get pregnant. And that responsibility falls on the woman. Now, the part of the woman's body falls on the responsibility on the woman first, the man second. As far as the sex and stuff goes, that falls on the man first and then the woman second.